For more on this, let's cross live down to Ulrich Brueckner. He is a political analyst, joins us live from Berlin. And let's talk about these sanctions. There's been rounds of them. This could be the 10th sanction package, Ulrich. So how effective are they actually?
Well, everyone who expects sanctions to be a quick game changer doesn't fully understand what sanctions are about. What we have seen since the beginning of the war are major geopolitical changes, globalization, supply chains, the access to technology. All of this has changed dramatically, and it cuts off Russia from lifelines in an economy that is already a backward-oriented economy that sells natural resources and doesn't invest in its future. And this is getting worse and worse the longer the war lasts.
So they are having some effect if we take that argument. But if there are to be renewed sanctions, what type would be most impactful then, targeting those natural resources, presumably?
Well, as I said, it's a long-term operation in which the price for having a war like this and expanding it and accelerating the use of force is something that Russia should learn is prohibitively expensive. And although sanctions work both ways and they also affect the West, it has far deeper and lasting effects on the Russian economy and its people than what will happen in the West as a consequence of imposing sanctions.
Yeah, let's talk about the impacts on the West then, because since we're approaching this year anniversary, you've mentioned there, we've had supply chain crisis, we've had global energy crisis, rising cost of living everywhere. A lot of this is after effects of sanctions of the war. Putin was hoping to blackmail Europe, as many analysts were saying, via these gas exports, but some analysts saying that hasn't been successful. So what type of impact is the West going to feel from a further round of sanctions on Russia?
Well, if you would have asked experts a year ago if it's possible to cut off energy supplies from Russia, everyone would have said it's impossible, it's bloody expensive, and it won't work. We came a long way, and especially the German government that was elected to fade out from a fossil-based economy into a renewable future is now using the sanctions as a process to accelerate this transformation process, while Russia is still stuck in the past and based on a model of its economy that won't last in a situation in which everyone increasingly understands that climate change is real and we have to change our way of making things and running our economy. So this is something that is happening in the West and it's not happening in Russia. And we are also at the beginning of an artificial intelligence industrial revolution that is also not happening in Russia in the same way if they are cut off from technological transfers. On top of this, hundreds of thousands of well-educated people left the country, which will also have a long-lasting effect on the Russian development.
Well, we await to see the size, scope and nature of any sanctions that are agreed from this summit in Kiev today. Ulrich Brueckner in Berlin, thank you.